Good morning and welcome back to the Red Mic. How's everybody doing today? Happy Thursday. These Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Early in my career, I was a reporter, I was a DJ. It was a lot of fun, but the pay was awful. Um, and then my first government job, well, not counting government jobs I did in college, those don't really count. Um, as my retirement will tell you, they don't really count. um, I was communications director and district coordinator for a state senator. And he wanted me to be a storyteller. And I don't remember where we looked this up, but we found in an old journal or a magazine or something. Uh, it was called the STAR method. And I've always tried to remember this ever since because it's a pretty decent framework. And I've tried to use it all along the way, whether I'm writing speeches or a PowerPoint or web copy, whatever it was. The STAR method. And the whole idea behind it is that people remember stories. They don't necessarily remember detailed or even vague or even detailed descriptions. But if you put a good story to something, they will, if nothing else, they'll hold on to the concept. So you use the STAR method, and just like Sandra Bullock used the Sing method in her movie Miss Congeniality. The STAR method, each letter stands for something, of course. You've got situation, task, action, and results. And result. So what do I mean by that? How do you put that into practice? Well, situation is you set the scene. You've got to tell people what the story's about. So, the Rocky moment. Think about Rocky, underdog boxer. He's down on his luck. He gets a once in a lifetime shot against the champ. That's the situation. That's that's what the whole story is going to be about. The context that makes everything that follows after it important. Why everything matters. That I don't want to be a loser. All of that. So apply that to real life. If I was talking about, well, let's talk about this. In one of my previous agencies, I was leading a process where we would inspect homes, yada, yada. And we were hitting a log jam, and it was taking a lot longer than I thought it should. And frankly, that my boss thought it should. So I went in and I assessed the situation. And the way we had it set up is the first part of the process was handled by one person. And then when it got to the point where we were going to assign an inspector or an engineer, then another person would take over and they would handle the process from there. I thought that was unnecessarily complicated. So when I took over, I said, okay, one person is going to handle it from end to finish, start to finish. And then that moved into the T, the task. What needs to happen? What's your goal here? What's your responsibility? What are you supposed to achieve? Well, the goal in Rocky was I just want to go the distance. I just wanted to go the distance, right? Well, he didn't care about winning. He just wanted to prove that he belonged in the ring. Well, the task I was looking at, how do we make this more efficient? How do we make it better for our clients, the constituents that were knocking on our door complaining about their home builder or their home remodeler? How do I fix that? And that was, the nuts and bolts of getting it to one person to run the entire process all the way through. A, action. What steps did you take? Well, Rocky drank the raw eggs and he sprinted through Philadelphia. And the first time he tried to climb those stairs, you may remember, he didn't get it. He's seen as him looking up going, right? And he didn't make it. So what did I do? I redesigned the process. I put in the nuts and bolts. I figured out, okay, we're going to finish your existing caseload, but any new cases that come from here on out, you're not going to hand it off to somebody else. You're going to handle the whole process. Because the gum up was in the time it took this person to talk about what was going on, how they were going to do it, then it moved into this person. There was always a hiccup there because if you're doing a process, if you're doing a job, and then someone comes along and says, "Hey, I've got this other job for you," well, your inclination is, "Well, I'm going to finish my job before I go to your job." It was a wrong mindset, but that's what we had to fix. So that's what we worked on. And then finally, result. What happened as a result of your actions? Well, you know what happened in Rocky. He did go the distance. And really, without that early bell that they were throwing, he would have won that fight, I think. Because without that early bell, he's knocking out Apollo, and Apollo's going to be looking up at the ceiling going, "Hey, what had happened? How'd this chump beat me?" So what happened at the agency I was at? We ended up trimming almost a week out of our timeline. And and when you're trying to coordinate a home builder and their inspectors and your inspectors and the homeowner's time to get the inspectors in there and get all of that done, trimming almost a week at a process like that, it was a big darn deal. And everybody was happier at the end of it, I think. I mean, not I think, I know. Particularly, the few lawmakers that were invested in our process, they were happy. My boss was happy. My board members were happy. We trimmed a week out of our report delivery, and getting those earlier results was huge. So, why does all of this matter? Again, it comes down to presenting your ideas, your task, getting all of those things looped together and building that good narrative, building that good story. Because even though you didn't have anything to do with my building process, I bet you could explain it to somebody. Say, "Hey, this morning on the red mic, he was talking about this, and he talked about yada, yada, yada," right? I built a story. I built a narrative. So go out there and do that in your own life. People don't want to know just what you did. They want to understand how you think, the problem solving that you put into it. They want to see that you actually deliver results. So remember, baby, I'm a star, right? Thank you, Prince. The STAR method helps you keep those answers structured and impactful. Steve Jobs didn't just say, "Hey, we built a phone with a touch screen and it's got all these cool things you can do." No, he framed the situation. Phones were clunky, they were outdated, they were kind of useless. The task. We reinvented the mobile experience. Now your phone is not just a phone, it's an information center. The action. We've got this intuitive multi-touch interface. Look, you can do all of this. You see all these little squares? They each do something different. And then the result was it changed how people interacted with their technology. Apple didn't just launch a product, they launched a revolution in consumer use of mobile devices. They really did. Now, am I an Apple guy? No. You're going to take my Android out of my cold hand. So, but without Steve Jobs telling that story, without actually showing everybody, this is this great thing that we've got here, and this is what it's going to do for your life. I don't see that. Yes, it would be a success, but would it have had the immediate buy-in, the immediate adoption? I don't think it would have. So again, people don't just want to know what you think. They want to know all of it. They want to know tell me how you think, how you solve problems, how you deliver results, and then show them. So the next time you need to tell a compelling story, be the star that you are and put it all out there. Clarity is always going to beat confusion, and impact beats rambling. That's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope that you can put these ideas, these concepts in place in your life. Go out there and do it. Knock the cover off the ball. I think you can do it. In fact, I know you can because I've seen other people do it. I don't know you from Adam, but I've got confidence that you can pull this off. So again, go be the star that you are. Because, honey, I know ain't nothing wrong with your ears. Thanks again, Prince. I'll see you again tomorrow. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share, no matter what platform you're on. I appreciate you very much. And don't forget, life is short. drink the bourbon.